In this video, we will be talking about the different account titles in your ledger, and I'll be featuring this is the paid version of the BS1 General Ledger. We will give you the link of this software. It is good enough for on the free version, but since, as we said, we are using this for multiple accounts, then we bought the paid version, which is about 5,000 pesos last year. So I enjoin you to buy it because it's a good investment. Anyway, we're now inspecting the default accounts in the GL account. So we'll go one by one. These are the things that are there in the here in the GL accounts of the BSGL1, and apparently these are important to us, right? I mean, starting a new company and all that. So these are the things that are there. Although you can add accounts, whether an asset, a liability, revenue, expense, or equity. So if you will notice, asset account starts with 1, and I think this is the same also with SAP. Liabilities starts with 2, equity and earnings starts with 3, expense starts normally with 5, sales with 4, revenues, and yeah, that's it. Okay, there are some exceptions, but mostly they are there for a reason. So anyway, so for example, I'm an entrepreneur, okay, and I want to start my GL accounts. Okay, ang wala dito, what is missing here, um that's clearly seen, of course, is the cash. Siyempre kailangan mo ng cash, no, in your place of work. So usually you will add that. Ngayon, the reason why it's not here, maybe the reason, no, I'm just speculating. Maybe the reason why it's not here is because normally kasi cash is in a lot of form na. Meron kang cash involved, cash on hand, even itong bank is cash in bank, no? So these are all the cash items that you can have. In fact, when I was in the bank, even the checks deposited, tapos hindi nakarating sa central bank, it's held in your vault. Ang tawag namin doon, cash and other cash items or COCI. Yung mga received checks after cut-off. So, yun. So, those are cash and other cash items also. Ayan. Um, so, I think in a very simple company, cash lang okay na, no? So, in this case, main account to, so meron pa tayong sub-account dyan. Later, we'll talk about that. Okay, so cash means yung amount of cash that you have either in your vault or in your cash box or whatever, in your teller's box or whatever. If you have like 2, 3 cashiers, pwedeng yung gawin na, merong cash sub 1, cash sub 2, cash sub 3, tapos babalansin nila yon on their own, and then you will have a consolidated cash naman. No? So, yun yung work nitong sub account 1 or something. Sub account 2, ganyan. So, basta all ka asset ay lahat ng bagay that you have in your company that is of value. So, syempre, cash of value yan, di ba? Another thing na nakalagay dito, immediately following is accounts receivable. Accounts receivable, syempre yung mga utang ng mga uh, tao or mga institutions, kliyente sa iyong business. Accounts receivable yon. Kung ikaw may utang ka sa business mo, kumuha ka ng cash, accounts receivable yon ng business mo sa'yo. Alright? Even if you own the business. Or else, you would just put it as withdrawal. Pero as much as possible, you don't get cash from your own business. As much as possible. Kaya dapat talaga nakalista lahat yan. Ngayon, accounts receivable, sometimes may aging to, no? So, hindi natin muna i-complicate yan. But, accounts receivable in itself is an asset. Now, sometimes, as I said, you put an expense account, and it's usually called parang allowance for bad debts, no? Or parang aging ng accounts receivable. Ito yung tipong 'pag masyadong matagal mo na siyang pautang, alam mo hindi na siya magbabayad, dapat wala na yun sa accounts receivable mo dahil wala ka namang way of collecting that, no? Ah, so yun. So, parang in a way, depreciate mo yung accounts receivable. But sa umpisa, just don't think about that yet. Accounts receivable, just refer to yung mga pautang ng company, okay? Exchange on foreign receivables. Um, hindi 'to masyadong ginagamit, eh. Usually 'pag meron kang, offshore o kaya meron kang mga, exports or something, tapos foreign account pa yung ano mo, foreign currency. So, merong mga ganyan, 'no? But, asset pa rin siya kasi nga, kahit na yan ay foreign basta't receivable pa rin siya, okey lang yan. Ngayon, sometimes 'pag siyempre as I said, hindi naman kailangan complicated yung account title mo. Kung hindi mo 'to kailangan, just remove that, 'di ba? Puwede mo i-delete 'yan, eh. Okay, inventory, ano ba ang difference niyan? Ang inventory is if you are selling merchandise, nagbebenta ka ng goods or whatever, ito yung binebenta mo. Okay, so halimbawa, meron kang nagbebenta ka ng computer. There's a difference between yung computer na binebenta mo, inventory, right? And then yung equipment ng computer ng office mo. So that's different. So hindi yun inventory, equipment ang tawag doon. So inventory is yung binebenta mo uh, uh, goods, no? Pwedeng process yon o kaya pwedeng raw materials, whatever. So usually yung inventory dyan is cost of goods ang nangyayari dyan afterwards. So ibig sabihin, dapat yung cost of producing the cost of the inventory is uh, ito yung yun nga, cost of producing the inventory, either yung raw materials, whatever. So, diyan nakalagay lahat yan, supposed to be, no? Ngayon, syempre, sa SAP, talagang hindi mo na kailangan i-track lahat yun kasi eventually, siya ang maglalagay niyan hanggang sa final goods. So, alam mo, more or less, if you are into mga sardines, canning, alam ba, you own yung 555 sardines or whatever, century canning, alam nila 'yan 'no, nasa ano nila 'yan na, yung, um, kumbaga sa construction yung bill of materials parang nandodo'n yung lahat ng mga raw materials, lahat ng bagay na na need mo in order to produce the inventory, 'no. But in a merchandising business, simplehan niyo lang basta ito yung cost nung binebenta mo. Okay, hindi mo dapat ilalagay dito yung SRP, yung standard yung, suggested retail price kung magkano mo siya binebenta. Dahil kung hindi, may difference yun, 'di ba? Dapat ang ilalagay mo diyan kung, magkano yung mismong, pag-produce mo o pag-acquire mo ng asset na yun. So equipment, anong difference naman yan sa, office supplies or whatever o furnitures, 'no? May mga companies. Like for example, during my time in the bank, FFE magkakasama yung furnitures, fixtures, and equipment. So may mga businesses naman na hiwalay pa yon, no? Dito, equipment means yung kailangan mo to produce the inventory or the goods. Okay, so sometimes, so halimbawa, for example, kami, we're in a training. Ang LCD is for us an equipment, no? Fax machine, office equipment pa rin yan. So lahat po ng mga niyagamit natin in order to hold your business, make up yung business ninyo, to do it, then that's equipment. Ngayon, sometimes, yung mga aparador, minsan meron ganun, no? Yung mga drawer, o hindi yun equipment, maaring furniture or fixtures yun, no? O kaya, uh, office supplies, no, kung siya ay movable. So usually bakit di natin ginagawang furnitures or fixtures, 'no? Kaya bakit magkahiwalay pa yon? Kasi usually yung fixtures, yung word na fixtures ay nagkakaroon ng double ng additional meaning lalo na 'pag nasa contract na ng lease, 'no? Halimbawa, nag-lease ka ng building and then it tells, it specifically states in the contract that all fixtures added by the lessee or something will accrue to the lessor. Minsan, nagiging issue pa yun. So, might as well, wag mo siyang i-consider na fixture. Lago hindi, magiging part nila yun, no? Mamaya, nagkaroon ng liquidation ng business mo. Yung lahat ng nilagay mo mapupunta yun sa lessor, di ba? Kasi fixture yun. Kaya nga, mas maganda hindi siya nakalagay na gano'n, no? Kasi lalo kung mamumove mo naman, no? So, halimbawa sa amin, sa Innovizon, yung division na kaya mo naman talaga i-move, pinagawa namin yon, it will not be fixture. Part dapat yun ng aming either equipment or whatever, no? Yun, accumulated depreciation equipment. So usually ang mga asset na kaya na mayroong depreciation nakatapat, nasa asset side din siya pero usually negative to. Ang equipment, so for example, you bought a computer, isang computer worth 40,000 pesos. And then ang useful life mo sabihin mo na 5 years, no? 40,000 divided by 5 will be 8,000. So every year nag-expense ka ng 8,000 diyan, no, sa equipment mong 'yan, no? Kaya nag-accumulate ka ng depreciation pero negative dapat, no? Kasi depreciation nga, so minus 8, susunod na taon, minus 8 na naman, so minus 16 na yung total kasi accumulated. And then minus 8 na naman, meaning 24,000 na. Minus yun, no? And then minus 8, 32,000 na. And then minus 8, 40,000. Usually, sa dulo, hindi yan sinizero. Iiwan ka ng 1 peso. Or sa amin sa bangko dati, iniiwan kami ng 1 peso para lang malaman na merong nominal account na merong pang existing na whatever dati is computer, tables, or whatever. Pero ngayon, kung gusto mo naman maglagay ng salvage value, no, so parang ibig mo sabihin na gusto mong ibenta pa rin yan at that point, at that price, halimbawa, 10% of the price. No, so for example, nabenta mo siya ng 40,000, maglalagay ka ng salvage value na 4,000 para pag nabenta mo, okay, so ang pinaka-basis mo is yung salvage value. Pwede rin yun. Depende sa iyo. No? But I don't know kasi sa mga CPA, meron silang panuntunan na inaano diyan, no, na sinusunod. So might as well kung merong CPA in the house, then might as well ask them what is the correct way of putting the depreciation. Pero usually I think wala namang masama na i-zero out mo 'yon, no. Kasi added expense yun, no? Masisira ka lang naman pag ang ano ay dinadaya mo yung tax. Pero in this case, wala ka naman dadayan dahil in fact, nasi-zero out naman talaga yung equipment, no? Uh, After some time, I mean, lalo kung sira na talaga siya, right? Other assets, as I said in my previous video, as much as possible, huwag kayong maglalagay ng miscellaneous assets. No? Usually, hindi natin nilalagay yan because hindi mo ma-classify kung ano ba to, bakit may other assets dito. So, as much as possible, in-spell out yan. So, a lot of assets are not included here. Pero you may see it in the other video on bookkeeping. Andiyan yung investment, no? Ano ba ibig sabihin ng investment? Nag-invest ka either in another company or in another business or in the stock market or mutual fund. So lahat ng investments naka-consolidate doon, no? Ano pa ang mga wala dito? Yan, mga foreign currency on hand. Usually pag meron kang foreign currency na held offshore, no? So usually nilalagay mo din yan diyan. Ano pa ba? Na asset o yung mga prepaid expenses, no? Halimbawa, yung mga prepaid na mga rental, deposits, prepaid expense ng halimbawa kung meron kayong fleet of cars na nagbayad na kagad kayo ng worth 100,000 ng RFID, hindi mo naman kagad i-expense yun, right? So, kailangan i-expense mo yung pagbabawas lang nun month after month, no? So, para makita mo yung galaw talaga ng expenses. So, usually, kinakapitalize yun. Ibig sabihin, nagsisimula ka muna with 100,000 for example, and then end of the month, tatanungin mo yung mga driver o kaya alamin mo yung report. O ano ba, magkano na lang ating RFID dyan? Okay, ang balance pala is 85,000. Okay, 85. 100 minus 85, 15,000 pala nagagastos natin every month. And then next month na naman, tingnan mo, 70,000. So, okay, 15,000. And then, ika-third month, pwede kang magdagdag na naman ng bagong amount. So, hindi siya kagad expense kasi uh, added sa asset muna and then saka ka na lang mag-expense every month. So usually yun lang yun, no? Building also, part pala dyan ng building. So may depreciation yan. Ang depreciation usually is determined by, merong ano yan, merong standard yan may accounting standards yan, no? Yung time namin, ang ang mga office equipment, ang ginagamit na standard yung mga 15% ata or something, no? Pero ngayon, pwedeng 20% yan. Usually, mas magandang conservative ka. Mga sasakyan, usually, ano lang yan, no? 5 years, no? Or pwede mo naman nagdagdagan pero wala namang magbabago sa'yo dun. Mas magandang bilisan mo lang yung pag-depreciate para at the time na, fully depreciated na siya, pag binenta mo siya, the difference will be in tutuusin, bawas sa expense ng company or incomes ng company, right? Building, nung time ko, 50 years ang depreciation, so 2% a year. Ngayon, parang narinig ko sa aming company ngayon na ang ginagamit nila ay 40 years at hindi, kumbaga conservative pa daw yun. No? So, 2.5% na pala every year. So, depende talaga on the new depreciation schedule. So, alam naman ng accountant natin yan, CPA natin yan. If not, you can research and then ask your retainers if you want. Pwede ka naman mag-bookkeep, using yung alam mo na depreciation and then sasabihan ka naman nila ng accountant mo later on na pag nag-audit sila na, oh, mali ito, and then you will just comply. Lalo pag hindi naman talaga masyadong material yung pagkakamali at hindi mo naman ginagawa yun in order to cheat the government or something. There's nothing wrong with that. So basta yun, in summary, lahat ng ang asset is lahat ng pag-aari ng company, no? Whether physical or virtual, kahit yung mga Bitcoin nyo, pwedeng ilagay na asset yan, no? Pwedeng stake in a company, shares of company, pautang ng company, lahat yan ay asset, no? One last thing, yung land, nabanggit ko na yun sa isang video, ang land hindi ina-appreciate or else magde-declare ka ng income, tatax ka. At paano kung next year bumaba yung value ng asset, no? Saan mo i-base yun? Fair market value. So, mas maganda pang ka na maglagay ng appreciation, yung pag-appreciate ng land, kung sa'yo yun, no? Kasi later on naman, kung mabenta mo yan, it accrues to the owner. So doesn't really matter. I mean, you don't have to prove your appreciation of your property. Okay, so that's it for the assets. We'll continue with the liabilities and then each of the income and expense.